ahead, be prepared, and stay safe. Hi, I'm Dr. J from Plantation Information Radio.
And I'm Ken Boyce from Parks and Recreation.
Together, we're your weather girls. Guys.
Yeah, guys.
Guys. Anyway, it's that time of year again when we start talking about storm season and hurricane preparedness.
And while there's plenty of information about how to prepare, we wanted to take some time and talk about you specifically, Plantation employees, and what you need to do to prepare for this storm season.
First of all, how many of you have been through a storm before? You? Oh, and you. And you in the back. Hey, red shirt guy, pay attention. This stuff is pretty important.
Of course, the big thing we always talk about is preparation. It's June 1st. The sun is shining, the birds are singing,
and the people are sweating. The last thing on their minds are hurricanes.
But it is hurricane season, and the time to prepare for a hurricane is before the season begins.
But before you can actually prepare, you need to know how long to prepare for. So here's a quiz question for you. And red shirt guy, this includes you.
And now for the win. How long should storm preparations be made for? Is it A, 1 week, B, 1 day, C, 3 days, or D, 1 month? Mr. Red Shirt Guy, your answer please. No, I'm sorry. 40 days and 40 nights wasn't even one of the possibilities. We were looking for C, 3 days.
Circle gets the square.
It's estimated that after a storm passes, it can take up to 72 hours for services to come back online. What that means is that you need to be prepared to take care of yourselves and your family for at least 72 hours. Of course, here in Plantation, we try to minimize that time. However, sometimes things are out of our control.
So what does it mean to prepare?
Well, let's start with the essentials. Water. You will need enough drinking water for 72 hours. That equates to 1 gallon per person per day.
So for a family of 4, that's 12 gallons. And they said I couldn't do geometry.
Algebra.
Yeah, algebra.
And what about food? Plan on canned or dried foods, but nothing perishable. And remember, if the electricity goes out, so does your refrigerator. And while it will keep things cold for a while, if you keep opening and closing that door, it's not going to be cold for long. Along with food and water, you need to ensure you have enough medication. Don't wait for the storm to approach to decide you're out of pills. The best way to prepare is to make up a kit.
Get yourself a watertight container, maybe something a bit more convenient. And in it, you should put the following:
Dry towels,
canned foods,
a manual can opener, first aid supplies,
flashlights with batteries,
changes of clothing,
spare blankets and pillows,
copies of insurance papers,
and maybe an extra credit card and some cash,
a roll of duct tape,
and a list of important phone numbers.
waterless hand soap.
Sure to include anything else you think you might need during or after a storm.
Consider baby food, diapers, and even items of entertainment. What shouldn't you have? Candles. Way too many fires have been started by unattended candles. Use a flashlight instead. Make sure you put that kit away someplace safe and dry.
Now is a great time to clean up that yard. Take care of any loose brush, debris, or other items that might become a missile in high winds.
It's not the 100-mile-an-hour wind that's an issue. It's the 100-mile-an-hour coconut.
You should be sure you have appropriate coverings for your windows and doors. Approved hurricane shutters are your best protection. They come in all sizes, shapes, and styles. Fit your shutters now, before the storm hits.
When a storm is approaching, it's not the time to try and test fit your shutters. It's way too dangerous for that. Okay, guys, that's enough. And always remember to wear sturdy gloves and eye protection.
What about generators? A generator is a great tool when the power goes out. But when using generators, there are some very important safety concerns to think about. First, most generators run on gasoline. So make sure you have enough gasoline for how long? 3 days. But make sure you store that gasoline in appropriate containers and not in your garage. Or your living room for that matter. The smell could be horrendous.
It's not the gas.
As a plantation employee, you may be called in during or immediately after a hurricane. So it's important to have peace of mind knowing that your family will be safe. Now that we have your home and your family taken care of, it's important that you know what your storm classification is.
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
No, not like that. We mean, which category does your position fall into? Response, recovery, or recovery on call?
If you are a response employee, you will be expected to report to work before the storm and remain at work until the storm passes. You will be available to handle any emergencies that may arise during the storm.
If you're a recovery employee, you will be expected to report to work after the storm passes, as soon as practically possible. You will be involved in the aftermath and recovery efforts. This is the toughest part of the job.
And as a response on-call employee, you will report back to work when directed to do so. But don't think you're off the hook. You will be needed to relieve the recovery folks who will be exhausted. And believe me, there will still be a lot of work to do. How do you know which one you are? Your immediate supervisor should inform you of which category you fall into and what your responsibilities may be.
Now, if you remember from your NIMS training, during a storm activation, your reporting location may change, and so may your assignment. And you need to be prepared to be at work for an extended period of time. So prepare yourself a little go kit. We said a little go kit, with changes of clothing, personal items, and maybe some high energy snacks.
Once you arrive at your reporting location, you will be assigned to an Alpha or Bravo shift. These are 12 hours of working time and 12 hours of rest time. Take advantage of the rest time when it's afforded you, because during the other 12 hours, you're going to be working. So how do you know when to report? As a city employee, you are obligated when a storm threatens to keep in touch with the city through one of the pre-established communication means.
The employee hotline, the website, our AM radio station, Facebook, or Twitter. Reporting requirements will be announced over all those outlets. So as you can see, preparing for storm season requires a little bit of work. But, and there is a big but here, with some planning, weathering a storm can actually be tolerated.
Then, let's start with the essentials. Water. Water. You will need at least 72 gallons of water.
It's the 100-mile-an-hour.
Spare blanket and pillow.
Oh, I need to zoom out for that. Holy cow.
Alright, do that again. Spare blanket and pillows. Nah, it's not working.
2, 1.
So as you can see, preparing for a storm, yeah, great. However, there is, but, and there is a big but here, with a, what? So as you can see, preparing for storm season. So as you can see, with a little bit of planning, tolerating the storm season, come on, it's one lousy line. How come I can't say it? Done, because I'm not doing it again.